So, how was it? Did you get everything you wanted? Maybe even more than you hoped for? Well, I do hope that you got caroling with our church or some group of friends. Did you get to see your family or at least connect with them somehow over Christmas? Was food involved? Now notice every one of those questions that I've been asked, and perhaps you have too after Christmas. They're all in the past. How was your Christmas? And it's easy to talk that way when we think that Christmas happens on December the 25th. Once we get past that date, we begin talking about it as something that happened and is behind us. Jesus is born is the announcement of Christmas, and it actually occupies two realities. The news of Jesus' birth in the town of Bethlehem is, well, it's past reality because it happened in history. And yet there's more to it than simply an event that we look back on with nostalgic feelings of a Jewish nativity. Jesus is born is also a present reality. John starts off his gospel looking back with the words, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." John, of course, is referring back to the actual creation in Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. In other words, God spoke. And then John tells us later on in his gospel in verse 14 just what happened to that divine word that gave us this world and gives us our lives. He says the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We've seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Now, the Word John tells us about is God with us, Emmanuel, Jesus, a very present reality. Beyond his human birth, he lives in every believer through his Holy Spirit. The risen Christ is the living Christ. Listen to what Romans 8:10 through 11 says, that even though you still experience all the limitations of sin, you yourself experience life on God's terms. It stands to reason, doesn't it, that if the alive and present God who raised Jesus from the dead moves into your life, he'll do the same thing in you that he did in Jesus, bringing you alive to himself. December 25th is past, but Christ alive in us is a present reality, and it's our future hope. May Christmas continue to bless you, and then may Christ who is in you bring the Word to life for someone else. I'm Craig Rumble. Thanks for being together with Markham Baptist Church.